Yeah, what's up? What's up? Pura vida, mi gente. Wow. Yeah, welcome, welcome. Real quick, we're gonna go over some terracotta collections, pottery. The Alexander Von Wuthenau collection. We've gone over a lot of his collection before, and some of the older videos. Got a lot of new people, and I found one of his other books. A lot of his books have almost the same images, but it has also different potteries and artifacts that we haven't seen. So I wanted to show you that, and we're gonna read a little bit about the book. We're gonna skim through it. Wanted to do this live with you guys, you know, as we go and look at the images together. So welcome. Thanks for tuning in once again. Appreciate that always. Shout out to everybody in the chat that's made it. And yeah, my name is Kurimeo, you know, Freddy. So very funny, Freddy. All right. So welcome, welcome. Yeah. Shout out to Vizo Breeze 3000 for the beats. All right, send me a pack of beats. This is a while back actually, and yeah, we're still using the beats. So he did it, you know. He didn't, never said, "Hey, you owe me this or you owe me that," and hey, man, that's his contribution to all this, and I appreciate it. Thanks to all the music producers that has sent their instrumentals and creative productions. Appreciate it. We're gonna get into this book real quick. Um, it's the art of terracotta pottery in pre-Columbian Central and South America. All right, so yeah, I did put Mesoamerican in the title because when I was going through it, I saw mostly Mesoamerican stuff, but I didn't. Yeah, so again, yeah, South American too. All right, some of the South American pottery as well. All right. So again, this is by Alexander Von Wuthenau. Says pre-Columbian art is best known to us from the impressive and enigmatic remains of such comparatively late civilizations as the Aztec and the Mayan. Pre-Columbian terracottas, however, unlike their Greek and Roman counterparts, have remained a neglected field of study. Okay, somebody just said, you know, I thought terracotta was only Asian. No, we had that here too. It's just been neglected, you know. In this volume, Professor Von Wuthenau examines and classifies the often violently expressive terracotta figures and objects that, for 3,000 years, again, 3,000 years or more, because this is based on their radiocarbon, right? The 3,000 year thing. Could be even older. Were fashioned by the different peoples of Mesoamerica. Even the disastrous Spanish conquest did not at once destroy the vigor of this tradition, and when in the 16th century these works first became known in Europe, they excited the admiration even of such artists as Albert Dürer, the Voices of Silence, as Andrew Malraux termed them much later, strike some as tragic, others as grotesque, others as even light-hearted or humorous, for despite their primitive technique, the primitive potters who created them succeeded in representing most vividly the physical characteristics and emotional qualities of their subjects. All right. So what he's trying to say is they're very realistic, a lot of this stuff. So you can kind of see the person, you know, phenotype and everything, their expression. You could almost see if they were mad, happy, or laughing, you know. So it's a lot of them are very kind of realistic, even though they still look like somebody just molded it with their hands, you know. It is interesting to note that not only Indians are represented among the men and women portrayed, some have unmistakable Semitic. Semitic. So this is what he calls Semitic, is what he calls so-called white. So that's what he's gonna. So you gotta dodge the hijack. That's why he's gonna separate right here as he's doing Semitic or Negroid features. But he's letting you know these phenotypes were in ancient America. Again, he just said 3,000 years. Huh? Semitic, and Negroid features. The hypothesis the author draws from this is that such peoples must at some time have lived in Mesoamerica and so have been familiar to the artists who created their portraits. Okay? They knew what they were doing. They knew they had a living model, is what he's saying. They were really looking at somebody. It's not a figment of their imagination when they were creating these uh, faces, right? All right. So, again, you got to dodge the hijack a little bit. Be always ready. Shout out to the author and everything for doing this collection, even though not sure if he did it for us or for his buddies or what, because it wasn't really, you know, shown to us growing up. But, you know, he just put it in the book together. But again, he's saying that people came from another part of the world over here. And so they've been seeing it in reverse this whole time. What we're about to see is more proof that America is the true old world. Very diverse place, especially here in the Mesoamerica and South America. All right. So we're gonna go through again the images. We're live. We're live, so you know, bear with me. All right. In ancient America, this is the introduction, right? Cultures So in ancient American cultures, human representations in terracotta were undoubtedly made by the million, even if we consider only those produced in the central part of the American continent. In my own hands, I have held many 100,000 clay heads, which come exclusively from the region of Mexico. Over 60,000 pieces were cataloged in the private collection of the famous Mexican muralist Diego Rivera. Speaking of Diego Rivera, let's go take a look at his murals, guys. Diego Rivera murals. All right. Diego Rivera's murals. Yeah. In between all these people, you will see the Indians. All right. These are Diego Rivera's murals. Let me show you this one. All right. Copper colored tribes of America. Diego Rivera's murals. Yeah. All right. Real quick. Right. Let's go back. Okay. Now we know. That's what you're talking about? Okay. Which I helped to classify the majority of the human representations. If we could not only double but increase by 100-fold the excavations undertaken by archaeologists, the earth would probably yield a countless number of such terracotta images. Naturally, the greater part of these objects must be considered as belonging to mass production. All right, so it goes on, but I just wanted to read a couple things, right? We're going to get into the images here, right? Now, I do have a couple notes here. So, all right, we got that one. All right. Mm-hmm. Isn't that a Star Wars symbol on the top? I don't know. Could sworn I've seen that in a movie or something. And then you got the guy in the middle. Pretty interesting. Yeah. It's gonna get good, guys. You'll see. Some of the vases and pots. I'm gonna switch that. I want to get a copyright with that chorus. Sorry. All right. So it's the symbol of Jerusalem, she said. Okay. I know I've seen it somewhere. I think I've seen it in the robes. Yeah, with the priests, they have it on the robes. Yeah, the symbol. Now, guys, if you don't remember, if you saw my video the other day, when we're talking about the Quiquilco pyramid, right? Remember they found artifacts in there, and there was one just like this, right? With the big thighs and everything. So you see how it's connected to these old cultures. All right. I remember Quiquilco's old, covered by lava, over 7,000 years old. That's what I was saying. They're carbon dating these things. You know, we don't know. We got to trust all their carbon datings. Wow. Check out Homeboy. Yeah. Don't worry. You're going to see many different. All right. Wow. Hey, you guys see the hair? Yeah. This is why they don't show you this sucker. Then you'd be like, wait. That look like woolly hair. Welcome. Also with the Egyptian haircuts. That's the other thing I want you guys to notice, the haircuts and what they're wearing on their heads. Some of them, and the beards. Because they said it wasn't beards over here. All right. You see? You guys see this hair? You see his hair? Yeah. Almost like the Buddhas, right? Almost like the Buddhas, how they have the little round things sticking out. It's kind of like, hey, shout out to much love, Terracotta Neem Tree. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember? Do you remember? We're gonna read some parts, and we're gonna come back and forth different pages, all right? Because I got some things highlighted here, just so we can get through it quick. It says it is clear to me that these unlooked for results might lead to a new perspective concerning our knowledge of certain ethno-historical events and population migrations. Because the individual and racial characteristics of the human faith are something that no one would be able to invent by accident, it seems to me that if ever anything were created by God, it was surely the racial differentiations of mankind. It is in contradiction, moreover, to the most elementary logic and to all artistic experience that an Indian could depict in a masterly way the head of a Negro or a white person without missing a single racial characteristic. All right, so this is what he's classifying. When he's seeing phenotypes, he's calling it white, he's calling Negro, and then he's calling the other one Indian. So this is his way of, but you got to dodge the hijack. But literally, what he's telling you is, if you're of a certain phenotype, you and your people, to draw somebody else, create a pottery, sculpt, a sculpture, and do some other people's phenotype and look, but make them look just like these other people, is because you had that model right in front of you. These people were right there, is what he's trying to say. So he's trying to emphasize the part that, yeah, he had a so-called Negro model. He's saying all the Indian, who's the Indian? So-called Indians were considered so-called Negroes. So, that's why I'm saying you got to dodge the hijack, But we keep reading, as he's saying, unless he had actually seen such a person, the types of people they depicted must have lived in America, and most probably propagated because he has been strikingly observed. When two different populations meet, they may become friends or enemies, but they always breed. We are thus faced with the fact that very early population units in the Mesoamerican region were exposed to intensive and varied racial intermingling. It is here that the genuine melting pot, all right? It is here that the genuine melting pot of America can be found, not in North America, where mixing has taken place much more recent times, leaving many problems unsolved because of its inconclusive nature. All right, so this is what he's saying. It hasn't gone on so much, but yeah, a lot of mixture up there too. But I just want to read certain things in this book, right? As we're looking through, again, the images. So he's saying over here how he's trying to explain, how there's so many different phenotypes represented. That the sculpture from Ratisbon shows an ancient Germanic personality, while the terracotta head from Guerrero is quite obviously what might be considered an outlandish, grotesque deity, namely the god Bes, who was well known in Egypt, and of whom terracotta images appear at practically all Phoenician excavation sites bordering the Mediterranean. In comparison, such objects, only the intrinsic essence of the artistic concept should be taken into consideration, and not merely their superficial exterior similarities. Extremely well chosen, on the contrary, are the samples of figures 6 and 7, because here we see the same fundamental concept at work in the two juxtaposed subjects. Figure 6 compares a preclassic head from Monte Alban, Oaxaca, with a Neolithic figure found in Palestine. Both were found at an archaic level, but are unquestionably identical. Okay? Where? In Palestine? Huh? Still more astonishing because they were found at a higher level are the results of a comparison of a well-known stone relief disc from Veracruz depicting a bearded man with the head of an Etruscan funeral figure, right? So you're talking about this right here. I have the actual image, the actual artifact. I've shown it in another video. We might come up with it today again. But he's saying that's an Etruscan, huh? In ancient America. But who's the Etruscans really? Where were they coming from? Atlantis. Where is Atlantis? Here. You're seeing it in reverse. You're seeing it in reverse. All right. Again, I just want to read a little bit as I go. I just see little things here and there. Pull up, DJ, pull up. Hope you're ready. Sword and machete. It says enigmatic heads of men of different races from the pre-classic period at Guerrero. The head above, right, was discovered in the Sierra above Petatlan. The others are Tepcan and Caliana. All right. Pre-classic figures from Guerrero call into mind archaic Japanese terracottas, just like the Japanese terracottas, the old ones. The complete figure is a unique specimen in the Josue Science Collection in Mexico City. What's this? Yeah. I'm gonna back up. See that? You guys see that? See Janet Jackson over here? See that? Yeah, yeah. So many phenotypes, right, guys? Many different looking people. So it doesn't mean they came from somewhere else. Doesn't mean, I mean, you can classify as Mongol and Negro and white like everybody else does in these books. But then you're just doing generalizing like they are. You got to understand, real genealogy, like real, like, people didn't look the same, you know. Were they the same people? Now that's a whole different thing we're looking into. Did they all necessarily come from a different place? We're also looking into that. All right. Yeah, I hope you like the music. Shout out to Breeze 3000. All right. So yeah, interesting. That's what I was saying. And a lot of these are so-called Olmec. A lot of these are so-called Olmec. So Olmec didn't have one phenotype. And Olmec is not a real name. I'm going to show you guys. I got the video coming. We're just going to try to learn a lot about what they're saying are the Olmec and try to break it down ourselves and figure out who these people are. Okay? And it's not just one people. It's not just one place. All right? So, yeah. Sound the trumpets. Wake up the nation. We're breaking the spell. Expose the false narration. This ain't religion. It's the sons of Jacob. Do you remember? You guys see why they didn't want you to see these terracottas? And if you're blind, you don't see what these people look like. It's very clear. Okay, very clear. You know, these are all Olmec. The ones we're looking at right now, these are Olmec figurines, okay? Again, not just one look, you know. That's the only thing people push sometimes. Whereas the figures below left is purely Olmec and Asiatic in character. Hey, American Bully, let me explain to you something. It didn't matter, right? All our lives when they were whitewashing and telling us about one type of so-called Indian. It didn't matter then, right? It didn't matter either to you, but it mattered to us because this is us we're talking about, man. Talking about a reclassification and paper genocide of people, man. All right, it's not just about uh, what you think is about just complexion. We're correcting history and correcting the narratives, man. So get in the classroom, man. You're 6 years late. You're 6 years late, over 600 presentations behind, man. Yeah, let us tell our truth, man. And if you're here to learn, go ahead and learn, man. And don't take this personal. It's just history and it's just truth. All right? You know, and we ain't generalizing here. We're showing you many different phenotypes. I say it all the time. We have many different hair types. That's the whole point. The whole point is to show how diverse it actually was here. And not to assume that anybody that's so-called black had to have come from Africa. That's what we're trying to clear up to you. Yeah. Come on, load up. Load up. All right, here we go. Borrow again. They make us borrow. They make us borrow it. All right. All right. Yeah. Where were we? Don't worry, guys. We're gonna go back and forth again. Hold on. All right. It says here in the bottom. In contrast, at Tlatilco, usually the neatly defined Olmec type can be found representing the male and also the spiritually more active elements, magicians, acrobats, etc. Most remarkable of all is the early appearance at both Tlatilco and Tlapacoyan of Negroid types, shown in many photographs in this book. All right, so you got the asterisk, and it says here in the footnote, the most beautiful Negro representations were made by the Mixtecs, and therefore are post-classic. Besides this, it is also interesting that the deity of the jewelers, now Tiye, mentioned in the Florence Codex, all right, is still represented in this late post-classic era with kinky hair. Again, with kinky hair. All right, it's very important to know this stuff. Yeah, they tell people with so-called kinky hair, say, "Oh, you couldn't be Indian because you got kinky hair. It's not straight." So American Bully C says, "Why is this important?" So the children can know who they are, man. With, all right. So again, even their deities are represented with kinky hair, which either might go back to very ancient Olmec, that's the hijack, that's a made-up name. We're gonna investigate this traditions, or to influences, right? That's why they don't know, or to influences from South America. R.G. Granados quotes the listing in the Register of Mexican Antiquities of the Archivo de Indios of a green stonehead which had kinky hair, made of gold and weighed, the Spaniards were very exact, 17 pesos and 4 tamines. During the last International Congress of Americanists, 1964, a French anthropologist said that the only thing missing in connection with the Negroid terracottas of ancient America were Negro skeletons. Huh? That's the hijack. They found all types of skeletons here, guys. That's what I'm saying. You guys gotta keep updated with the other researchers and archaeologists finding the bones. Oh, I know what happened. The Smithsonian hid all that stuff. Manifest destiny. Not supposed to be here. Must have been some intrusion by some so-called Negroes during the Civil War. Is what they always tell us, right? When they're finding these so-called Negro skeletons in Indian burial grounds. We've gone over the information before. All right. Again, we're not saying that there was one type of look here. All right. We're just telling you that what you're thinking of so-called Negroes not just coming out of Africa. All right. More than 30 years ago, a German scholar whom I personally served as a cultural attaché in Buenos Aires found Negro skulls and a very deep layers in Argentina. Like I just said, they've been finding it. So-called Negro skulls. Also in Brazil, Negro skeletons are said to have been found recently. I do not know if any have ever turned up in Mesoamerica. He don't know. He just admitted it. Okay, that's what I was saying. He don't know. He ain't keeping up to date. Unless anyone searches for them, it is very unlikely that they will be discovered. Taken as a base, the terracotta ratio of, for instance, 1 to 1,000, it would be very fortuitous indeed to find accidentally the only Dash the hijack, the only Negro skull among so many others. So what are you determining what makes the skull Negro? You know, this is another thing, guys. That's why you got Dash the hijack, because a lot of this craniology was based on trying to prove that so-called Negroes or black folks were inferior, that their brain was smaller and all this other stuff. So a lot of the stuff is based on that. You gotta take it with a grain of salt, a lot of the craniology stuff. All right. But basically what I'm trying to show you is look how they're debating. They're like, man, what's up with all these terracottas looking like so-called Negroes? Where's the bones? How are the bones have been found? all kinds of different bones all over the Americas, all over. Yeah. At this point, one might also refer to the research work recently conducted by Dr. Alfonso L. de Garay, who claims to have found Negro characteristics in blood tests among the Lacandan Indians. What does that mean? One of the most secluded Maya tribes of Mexico. The research has not been completely finished. We already know what the old pictures of the Lacandan looked like. They were what anybody would call so-called Negro, or a dark-skinned person, a very swarthy person. All right, so I just want to read that. Let's look at some more of the images here. Jose, you just ignored what we just read. All right, representations of their deities and the terracottas and all these things have kinky hair as well. Ancient America had all types of hair types, man. So don't come here with your prejudice, bias, one-sidedness, man. You obviously don't haven't researched. And if you have, you've been biased about it. Jose Bravo. Yeah. Get out of here with that, man. And you're acting like black folks don't straighten their hair. Hey, Jose, there's your straight hair right there. All right. And stone. And stone. Very detailed. Very detailed. Just for you, Jose. And this is ancient. Ancient. Archaic. Okay? So we got the cone heads and everything, right? The elongated skulls that they found in Peru and all that. We know. Oh, we're not here to babble, American bully. It makes some sense, man. Makes some sense. You're babbling right now. All right. Don't let your I know don't play cognitive dissonance. Don't practice cognitive dissonance right now. Jose, so-called Indians were so-called Negroes too. You make no sense. You don't understand what you're saying. Get out of here with your racist views, your prejudice views. You're not allowed in here. And don't create more accounts to come over here. All right? We are learning. We are showing the truth here. Let people know who they are and remember, man. Stop trying to be a gatekeeper. Stop with your jealousy and your hate and your evilness, man. Get out of here with your bad spirit, Jose Bravo. With your bad spirit. You're so Indian, but look how you're acting. You're so Indian, but look how you're acting, man. Don't come interrupt here with your prejudice, racist views, man. Hawa. You got no power over Hawa's people, man. Stop crying, Jose. Stop crying, Jose. Take a good look, Jose. To illustrate the Mixtec's capacity to represent human beings, we may refer to three heads. The large one on page 113 is a ceramic masterpiece, both in technical execution and in artistic concept. The surprising thing about this piece is that it hardly suggests an accidental stylization made by an Indian, so-called Indian, such a generalized term. How the appearance of Negro elements came about in this late post-classic period is still a riddle. It's still a riddle. They don't know why. Why? Why do they look so-called Negro? They're supposed to be in Africa. They're supposed to be in Africa, according to Jose. Jose Bravo. There's nothing Bravo about you, man. The smaller female head is an important piece from the Berlin Dahlem Museum and also shows slightly Negroid features. Also, slightly Negroid. Wow. And come here with your stereotypes. A third specimen of this type, which belongs to the National Museum of Anthropology in Mexico City. So they know, all these anthropologists in Mexico, they know what they have in their collections. Is shown on page 181, lower left. In this figure, there is no point in quibbling. A real Negro is represented, okay? Page 181, huh? Let's go to page 181. We're going to go, let's see what they're talking about. We're 138, all right, 181. So I said we're going to go back and forth. 181, huh? This way you can know what they're talking about. So that's 178, 179, 180, 181. All right. 181. That's what they're talking about right here. Either of them could be. All right. This is found in ancient Mexico. That's the hijack with your terms, Indian and Negro. Those are hijacked generalized terms. These people had their own names, right, as individuals, and they belonged to certain tribes and nations that had specific names. They didn't call themselves Indians. They didn't call themselves Negroes. They didn't call themselves blacks, okay, or the red mans. So according to Jose, these guys are not supposed to be here if they don't have trade. If they don't have straight hair, yeah. Okay, sure, Jose. Go back. Where were we reading? So again, a real Negro is represented. There's no point in quibbling with Jose, okay? I hope you're watching still, Jose. There is no point for me quibbling with you because a real so-called Negro is represented. In this case, very true to nature. Indeed, only recently I discovered this rare and hitherto disregarded figure in the superbly organized storerooms of the new National Museum of Anthropology in Mexico City. All right? Go cry a river somewhere else. I know it hurts. Truth hurts, I know. Cognitive dissonance is contagious. Very contagious. All right. Night Rider, baby. You guys see that one? All right. And believe it or not, I think these were like incense holders too. I think I read that, and when I read his other book, we're gonna go into the other book. I think it was holding incense and everything. Yeah. Amazing, man. Look at this guy's hat or costume or whatever it is. Look at that. Amazing. Why would he have that on? Like, is he doing a play? Is it part of a ritual ceremony? Is he an actor, a jester? So interesting. But they wanted to tell us these people were savage, right? Nothing to see here. With the collection of Huestacan portrait heads, we begin a very interesting chapter in the early ethnological history of the Americas. Here, as on the Plateau of Mexico and everywhere else in Mesoamerica, we find totally different racial types. Totally different racial types. Where? In Mexico, the Plateau, just like everywhere else in Mesoamerica, just like everywhere else. So what does that mean? Including so-called Negro people, what you consider to be so-called Negro. Okay? The true old world. The white element is predominant. What he's calling white is the so-called Semitic or the straight nose. Like straight nose or hook noses and things like that, beards. He's calling all that white. All right, so you got a picture. That's what he's talking about. And two faces with Semitic characteristics. What is that? Semitic characteristics are also shown. Even Negroid features appear. Even Negroid. The small classic female head, second row center, which reminds one of the best miniature portrait heads from Teotihuacan, and the beautifully modeled Negro woman, third row center, with delicate African breast, are masterpieces. Right? So she's not African, but that's the only way he can describe her, so people can picture it. It's just a reference. All right, so let's try to go see what are they talking about. Portrait head, plate 114. So where page is that? Plate 114. Well, if we see plate 114, we'll remember. All right, now check this one out. Wow. Yeah. Hova. No.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. Push until I fall, I'm slipping together. built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, 'cause that's what it takes.
Wow, wow. Hey, hey, shout out to Netflix for that song. Yeah, hey, much love and respect to the donators like Tlatuani, Machi. Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate it, man. You know, we all learn from each other. I'm in the on your classroom too. Much love and respect to Panda Man 64. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, look at this. This one's very interesting. What's up, homie? What's up, cuz? Yeah. Well, yeah. Look at the, is that a turban? Almost right. What is that? That a turban? Hmm. The same can be said about page 133. Above are two vigorous Negro personalities whose faces show particularly clear scarification that tattooing, for which, as is well known, the Negro skin is especially suited. Oh, guys, hear that? The origin of this custom, as well as the general usage of earrings, all right, most likely has to be looked for in Africa. Dash the hijack. He's so convinced these are Africans that came over here 4,000 years ago, right? Because that's what exactly what they look like to him, right? So he's like, it has to be because that's the origin, really, of earrings. Who says that? Show me the source. Show me your research. We had earrings here since ancient times. All right, so this is what I'm saying when people add their conjectures. He got no sources for that part. What he got a source is the actual sculpture he's holding that they dug up in Mexico, not in Africa, Mexico. All right? Don't let these people cloud your mind with their ideas. But it's important to read these things, understand. So people can, this is where your Pan-African ideas come out of. Like, all right, so when did they came here? Who? And why didn't they stay? You're still here. You get it? You still here. The first head on the left might also give the impression of an Asiatic earth demon, although the artist's interpretation seems quite human. All right, so we're gonna go to page 133. I think I know what he was talking about. We just saw them. All right, So yeah, 133 of these guys right here with the tattooing, just like many tribes in Africa do. But again, they've been seen in reverse. It was the what? South American Indians, the civilized Africa. Hey, I didn't say it. Katana Bongo. Katana Bongo said it with her research. African scholar. And the Mandan got a tradition of how they brought corn with them on their easterly migration. So they're in West Africa. Easterly, that means they came from the Americas with corn. Where else is corn grown? Been seen in reverse the whole time. Let's see, it is quite possible that the Olmecs were the earliest forerunners of the artists in the Western District so far as the technical development of ceramics is concerned. These powerful Asiatic people seem to loom in the background everywhere. Listen to this. And one can hardly avoid giving them credit for being the teachers of pottery making. As a matter of fact, a private collection exists in Mexico City in which, all right, hold on, let me just read that real quick. This evolution can be studied step by step. All right, so I thought he was going to say something, but now look what he's saying. So again, these are from Olmec sites, guys. These are from Olmec sites. That's why I got a video. I don't know if it's just one video or a couple. It'll be a series. It's going to be called The Out of Olmec Theory. So again, 6 Olmec heads, extremely human renderings of the Olmec type, both actual size. Says note the Negroid type on the left. All right. So diversity even on this right here, right? You guys can see where they got a lot of their ideas for their Star Wars costumes and characters. Yeah, you'll find all that here in the Americas, man. That's what I'm saying. We talking about Savagers, Avengers, yeah, all that, man. Guardians of the Galaxy, all that. But Dodge the Hijack with the spinning balls. Dodge the Hijack. Are we talking about more lands? Are we talking about lands we don't know of? Is that what we're really talking about? Huh? Yeah, make sure you like the video and share if you're enjoying this. All right, shout out to everybody in the chat. Thanks for being here. We just jamming today while we are looking at some art, ancient American art. What's up? What's up, girl? Yeah, you already know. Yeah, that's what I picture. I'm like, just like today, back in ancient times, chilling in these mega cities, pyramids and temples and everything, with the nicest clothes, the good food and everything, ball games, ball courts, universities, libraries. We had all that. That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't have none of that on the other side of the world. They show three little pyramids. Where's all your canals? Where's everything else? Where's the whole infrastructure? Where's the whole infrastructure they're finding here with their lighter technology? And these are your people. These are your people that were there. The most beautiful and literally the most valuable Negroid representation from pre-Hispanic America belongs to Colombia and can be found in the second showcase of the famous gold museum, Museo de Oro, of the National Bank in Bogota. The piece measures 17 centimeters in height and is of gold with a light copper alloy. It was reproduced in color in 1948 in a bank's catalog of the museum. Our drawing gives an idea of the appearance of the face and forms of this unusual figure, extremely interesting apart from the Negro physiognomy of the face are the neck rings in African style. That's what he sees. He thinks that's African. We've been conditioned and accustomed and indoctrinated to believe things like that are only found in Africa. They're finding this. This is ancient America. The strange box-like set of teeth has surprising parallel in. Hold on, guys. Two small terracotta heads on exhibit in the main Teotihuacan showcase of the Diego Rivera Museum in Mexico City. In regard to the early appearance of Negroid elements in the pre-Columbian art of South America, the comments of the Spanish Dominican monk Fray Gregorio Garcia acquired renewed interest. According to Fray Garcia, who spent 9 years in Peru in the 16th century, the Spaniards saw Negroes for the first time in the New World on an island offshore of Cartagena, Colombia. He wrote as follows: Aquí se hallaron esclavos del Señor, negros que fueron los primeros, que los nuestros vieron en las Indias. Alright. Another piece which depicts a Negroid personality, equal in value to the example, in the gold collection of the National Bank in Bogota, is the well-known gold pectoral of the National Museum of Anthropology in Mexico City, commonly considered Mixtec, although it was discovered at Papantla, alright? He's not African, he's Mixtec. Veracruz. Erroneously, this piece has been considered a representation of Huehueteotl, the old or fire god, probably because of few filigree gold threads from a skimpy beard on his face. This opinion was recently voiced by Raúl Flores Guerrero in his Historia General de Arte Mexicano. If one wants to give a divine Nahual name to this pictorial, one should at least use the more correct designation of Noal Piji, and later epochs the deity of goldsmiths and jewelers, who in other representations also exhibits Negroid characteristics, right? The god of what? Goldsmith and jewelers? He was so-called Negroid? An entity different meaning can be attached to the gold pendant found in the Mixteca Alta, which probably does represent the fire god. Actually, in this piece, we are again confronted with our old friend, the early Shemitic immigrant, who was probably at the source of all the fire gods, all gods, and ancient incense burners of pre-Columbian America. The Shemitic is what? The gods? The Shem, people of Shem are the what? Huh? All right, we can keep reading, right? The two Mexican pieces are shown in adjoining drawings to illustrate vividly. Once again, the two racial types, which, as has often mentioned, were probably representations of the most important ancient American personalities. All right? Not African, not from Asia, but American. The interesting Negro described above is not, however, the only figure of value for our study from the glittering treasure house of Colombia, for we also find here an impressive supply of Semitic or Shemitic type, likewise in pure gold. In gold, man. Their presence was made known and indeed famous by the bank's publication previously mentioned, and by the Lux edition of the Gold Treasure of Bogota by Jose Perez de Barradas. All right, I showed a lot of these examples from the Gold Museum here in Costa Rica. Check out that video. I showed a lot of what they're talking about. It's the same culture. Colombia is right next to us, so Panama's in between Costa Rica and Colombia. When I visited the Gold Museum in 1964, I confirmed my impression of these pieces, and the adjoining drawings will convey them to the reader. They also show that many significant human images of the New World appeared on the South American continent. All right, so figure 19, 20, and 21 evoke the primeval or ancestral dignity of the Old Testament. The more physical human aspect of these ancient personalities who must have had so much influence in America is emphasized in figures 22 and 23. In the needle head of figure 24, even an exaggeratedly grotesque line comes to fore. All the examples shown here, including the Negro, are products of Quimbaya culture, of the Cuaca Valley of Colombia. Okay, can I get a mic drop? They're from what? The Quimbaya culture. They're not from Africa. Even the Negro, including the Negro, not a part, not any slaves that mix with the Indians. Okay, they were part of the Quimbaya culture in the Cuaca Valley of Colombia, which apparently flourished between 400 and 600 AD, dodged a hijack with their radiocarbon datings, and thus belongs to the classic epic. There might even be a relationship between these pieces and the magnificent Guatemalan incense burner reproduced on pages 164 and 165. Earlier forerunners of the Colombian gold figures can be sought in remains from the Tumaco and Esmeralda cultures in Ecuador, right? A plausible example is a hypothetically arranged family tree of the pretty girl from Quito. Again and again, we see not only the duality of the leading personalities of America, but in the latter items, the physically effective leaven of a powerful race, which evidently penetrated, if only in small quantities, a larger part of the American continent in early times, all right? In early times. I'm gonna go back here. All right. Hope you're enjoying. Wow. We're gonna keep going. They ain't trying to load the page. Come on now. Come on now. There we go. All right, we got Raiden over here from Mortal Kombat. Hold up. See that? Yeah, look at the beard on there. They said people over here didn't have beards and stuff, you know. So all these people wearing earrings and all that stuff, but it was invented in Africa, right? But there's no proof of anybody bringing that knowledge over here to us. People already had that. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. You got to research things. This one I thought was really interesting. I don't know. He got one eye, looked like a reptilian. But then he look at it almost looked like what they wear in the Arabian countries, right? The cap over his head. So this piece right here, we're gonna see in the other book. We're gonna see the actual artifact. Pretty cool artifact. Looks like he's wearing a football helmet. All right, so let me see. This during the time of my exhibition of photographs and terracottas of pre-Columbian Negroid representations in Dakar in April 1966 at the first World Festival of Negro Art, I was able to admire and to photograph some exceptional Ashanti terracottas, which have a striking similarity to certain works from Veracruz, both in technique and in artistic content. All right. Now that's a comparison he's making. Here it says a mystic Negro head post-classic, which I have only recently discovered. So he's saying that's A. This one right here. Conclusion. A few years ago, William Spratling published a little book about Totona clay sculptures with an introduction by Gordon Elcombe entitled More Human Than Divine. It is a good title and a good beginning, but that is not enough. To the human, we have here added man, the tendency of deify all the artistic endeavors of ancient America, apparently in almost all present day literature, has, in my opinion, gone too far. All right, I kind of understand what they're saying, guys. Um, so a lot of times they'll show you a sculpture or a drawing in a codex or in a vase, and they say, "Oh, that's their deity," and he's painted black. That's a deity. That's not a real person. That's a deity. That's a deity. And I be telling you, these are real people. These are real people being depicted, and that's what he's saying. They've gone too far with that. It may be a cover up, guys. It may be a cover up solution in the case of material that is insufficiently familiar. There is no doubt that religious attitudes and a well stocked pantheon of deities played a very important role, especially in the latter theocratically organized communities of Mesoamerica. However, in the artistic production of the whole pre Columbian period, these strictly religious representations were not everything. Of course, it is fairly simple to register any figure with a beard under the heading Xuitecutli. All right, so anybody that had a beard, right, they were saying, oh, that's Xicuetucle. That's it. That's just that same guy. Or Huehueteot, a Nahuatl name for the fire of old God. Utilizing this tempting device further, one can forget that the real question is not so much whether a figure does or does not represent a fire god, but to explain the presence of a beard, which real Indians do not have, he says. All right? Real Indians dodge the hijack because he's like, Jose, he thinks real Indians look a certain way. What is the so-called real Indian? Dodge the hijack. So even though these authors and these people are finding this and they're saying these are Negro people, they're still, got their biases and separations and stereotypes. So as a symbol of this deity, and why most representations of this kind show decidedly Semitic characteristics. So yeah, no way, Jose. No way, Jose. So Semitic, he's separating Semitic from Negro from Indian. Come on now. I am fully aware that by attempting here to employ the artistic instinct and keen observations of pre-Columbian terracotta artists to bring a little more light into the unknown human side of ancient American history, Only a first and possibly small step has been made. Yet I believe that this step is a very necessary one in the right direction, particularly when we take into consideration that due to the lack of written records, no other alternative is open to us. I am convinced that the many millions of representations of human faces will be able to tell us a great deal once they have been thoroughly studied. Once they have been thoroughly studied, but what they do, they hush this, they bury this under the rug. We ain't supposed to know about it. Now, don't look at these. No, don't worry about these terracottas over here. Sometimes these voices of silence are slightly confusing, but sometimes they are clear and distinctly recognizable. To be sure, not every pre-Columbian terracotta is a significant work of art. The vast majority of them were mass-produced works. Of the hundreds of thousands of clay heads which I have held in my hands, only a small percentage had sufficient quality to be illuminating. In those pieces where there is evidence of a strong creative will, a bright ray of cognition comes forth to the viewer, its strength increasing in perspective depth according to the artistic quality and human value of the piece. I believe that a real artist is capable of producing a truthful image in accordance with the essential facts of life. Some might take offense that this artistic power has been extended to the recognition of racial differentiations. All right, some people find it offensive, like Jose. No way, Jose. He gets takes it personal when we say, oh, they found so-called Negro phenotypes or physiognomies in these sculptures. But this point of view is justified, I believe, by the material presented in this book. The representation of white types is so frequent that no one can remain unaware of them, so-called white. The Negroid element is the exception, but it's well proven by the large Olmec stone monuments, as well as the terracotta items, and therefore cannot be excluded from the pre-Columbian history of the Americas. Stop trying to exclude it from them being American. Furthermore, it is precisely the Negroid representations which often indicate personalities of high position, who can unhesitantly be compared to the outstanding Negroes who served as models for great works of art in Egypt and in Nigeria. All right. After having read my two papers on this subject at the International Congress of Americanists in Barcelona on August 31st, 1964, I was opposed by an American anthropologist who declared that all the photographic slides shown in my lecture were the result of stylizations made by Indians. You hear that? So it was, oh no, they were imagining that stuff. One type of person was imagining that stuff. So yeah, these were so-called Indians, the ancient Americans, yeah, whatever you want to call them. I have great respect for the work of anthropologists, and even it may even claim to understand their activities. Yet it might be desirable if some anthropologists occasionally would make an effort to understand that an art historian may be just as intent on searching for the truth as his colleagues who take an anthropological point of view. The agent Rembrandt was able to paint his famous picture of two Negroes, now in the Mauritius in The Hague, because he was familiar with those two members of the Negro race. If instead of painting them he had measured their skulls and bones, he might have succeeded in becoming an anthropologist, but would probably have ceased to be an artist. He managed to give us, by virtue of his marvelous artistic insight, one of the most splendid and true to life representations and existence of the Negro race, expressing both its physical and its psychic aspects. As this great artist depicted real people in his paintings, so did Cranach and Dürer show us the essence of Germans. So he's making a point here, right? Like, how come they get to, and it's clear what they're painting, right? So he's saying it's the same thing in the same way. The early American terracotta artists were able to create and have thus handed down images of real Mesoamericans. In accordance with this method of reasoning, I propose that we put aside the doubts and worries of anthropologists and ethnologists and allow the terracotta works themselves to tell us their story. The creative hands of artists from those ancient days have stretched out to guide us to a new and clearer understanding of the history of the Americas, where apparently not only East and West, but in fact the whole world met. Again, guys, look at this. Mic drop. Can I get a body bag for the illusion? Shout out to Drop. Can't drop. Come on now. Not only is the East and West here, it's the whole world here. They they all came, but they all left, right? They all came. What happened? They all left though. The true old world, guys. It's right here. They met here a long, long time ago. Long, long time ago, before the fake places over there. The meaning of all this can be demonstrated by just two illustrations in this book, color plate 36 and the black and white plate on page 181. A close examination and thorough contemplation of these newly discovered witnesses of hitherto unknown human images of ancient America is strongly recommended to the attentive and sensitive reader, like No Way Jose. All right. Yeah. But he's gonna still, hey, author, he's still gonna practice cognitive dissonance because he don't want to admit that. He don't want to admit that. All right. So real quick, see, I had Negro. I'm gonna put Negroid here in the search, and you guys are gonna see a lot of stuff's gonna pop up. All right. A lot of stuff's gonna pop out. Hold on. Oh, we gotta borrow again. Hopefully they didn't block us. We gotta borrow again. Let's go. Fingers crossed. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, we're just waking up real quick. More. We're waking up some more. Helping with the process. All right. Helping with the process. Whoa. So a 5 flute headpieces, markedly Negroid type. All right. And Semitic and all that, right? Negroid head, Plateau of Mexico, Tlapoyan. Just doing a rerun, a refresh, okay? Page 46, Dead Man, an impressive work of the classic period from Veracruz, the slight Negroid strain in this realistic representation is striking. Page 146, page 46, huh? Page 46, huh? Oh yeah. You see that? That's what they're talking about. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. So check this out. The earliest figures encountered were those with Mongoloid characteristics. This is, according to how you separating the races, and also real Chinese, another tag, and very Japanese wrestlers, Tartars, all kinds of white people, especially Semitic types. That's what I was saying earlier. According to him, Semitic is only so-called white, with and without beards, and a surprising number of Negroes and those with Negroid elements. All right, what is he talking about? What they're finding here. What they're finding here. Okay? Just doing a rerun, refresh. Says here, the two heads are very early Negro renderings from the southern part of Mexico. Yeah. The two Negroid heads on page 48 are quite conspicuous. On page 48, huh? Oh, that's way back. But we saw the images on this page. I just want to show you guys. On page 53, we see an array of figures which seem to belong to the white race, although an early Negroid element can also be spotted. So he's kind of like breaking down people by his way of how he classifies people. All right, I just want to show you, in case you just came and joined us. This is what we were looking at. There's here 6 Negroid heads from Tlatilco. All right, and then another one says a clay sculpture of particular beauty which combines the Negroid elements with the vertical tendency. All right, some more images. Again, we saw all these earlier. All right. During the last International Congress of the Americanists, a French anthropologist said that the only thing missing in connection with the Negro terracottas of ancient... Okay, we read this earlier about the skeletons. And here it says large Negroid head, right? Large Negroid head. All right, so that was quick. Just wanted to show you guys it's in there all over the place. All right, and I'm gonna hook you guys up. Let's see if this works. I'm gonna put it in the chat. You guys can have the book. All right, all you need is an email. There you go. It's in the chat. All you need is an email. Sign up and do some research and stop and dodge your own hijacks. All right, we're gonna continue another book of Alexander Von Wuthenau. It says here, Unexpected Faces in Ancient America, 1500 BC to AD 1500. All right, so they're going back at least 3,500 years, they're saying, But again, that's based on their carbon dating. We got to trust their radiocarbon dating, huh? Look at this statue right here. Oh, let's borrow this again. Hopefully we didn't get blocked. We're going to get some cool images here too. Right. Doo-doo-doo. The origins of ancient America's population have been a controversial issue. Ever since the New World was rediscovered by Europeans, it's always been controversial. They don't know where you came out of. They're like, why were they here? Why were they here? How were they here? A human cat head. What? All right. Just getting started in this book again. All right, so he tells a story. We've actually read a lot of this in my previous videos. You know, a lot of this actually. It says here, recently, my friend Dr. Erwin Palm, listen to this, who is a director of the Art History Institute of the University of Heidelberg, came to my studio in Mexico City. After listening to my theories, he gave me the following advice. Hey, Wuthenau, never say Negro, always say Negroid, because then it would mean that the black specimens in the pre-Columbian art derive from Melanesian Negritos and not from African Negros. Oh, you hear that? So they're, even though they're making a distinction and saying these people ain't African, but they must be related to the Melanesian Negritos. Now that I can dig. Those are distant cousins of ancient Americans. Yeah, we went over there and they were going back and forth, all that. But you see, he's like, hey, don't call them that, call them this. That way they know the difference. Now you guys understand the terminology in these times, what they were meant by Negroid and by Negro. All right. Says here, there's at least a good probability that the notorious Olmec rulers who claim as procreators some highly civilized Negroid people from Africa, only because of their phenotype. So again, that was all the old Pan-African doctrines, books like they came before us and all that. All they had was the phenotype of the stone. That was their only proof, but nothing else, And again, America's a true old world. Been here. Yeah, all these phenotypes. Chapter 7, it says here, the question of Semites and Semitic symbolism. We've gone over so much of this in a lot of videos, right? So Shemite, so-called Shem. I just want to show you what these titles are here. All right, so here we got, let me see, mask, right? Some from Babylon and some from Mexico. And Carter, she's comparing. They're literally almost the same. Okay. And we saw these earlier. Shout out to DJ Freedom. That's literally his name, DJ Freedom. We're gonna do a pull-up right here. So the pictures of ships, just like we actually read in our book, In Plain Sight, right, by Gloria Farley, where they found inscriptions of ships all over North America as well. So look at this, guys. So we definitely were navigating. Check out my Ancient Navigators of America videos. I have about 3 or 4 of them. Very good information. We were the ones who went and navigated and taught people how to navigate. The center, there was an epicenter here in Central America. All right, future video, we're gonna go over this again. Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. Oh, you thought that was only you thought that was in the movie only? Huh? Incense burners and stuff, right? Check this out. See him? This here, chapter 8 is about historical opinions on Semitic diffusionism in America during the 18th and early 19th centuries, all right? 1700s, 1800s. They're finding all this stuff here. I got kind of reminded of Queen Latifah. Do you guys see? Are you guys using your eyes? Do you see? Break the spells. Both ancient Americans, the true old world. Do you guys see? My eyes don't lie to me. I ain't gonna practice cognitive dissonance either. And you gotta acknowledge the guy on the left. Many different phenotypes here. Many different phenotypes. Can't judge until we truly understand what we're saying. We gotta really know what we're talking about when we're judging people and we're stereotyping and we're generalizing and being biased. You guys see her? All right. This fellow right here with the very thick beard. All right. And of course, the Olmec heads, we already know. Oh, yeah. Open your eyes. All right, so you see her and the one on the right too. It says here, I'm gonna read it to you guys. Pay attention. Listen to what it says here. Hold on, Netflix. Hold on, Netflix. That's a good song. Hold on. It says head of Totonac Sundancer, Veracruz, classic period. This head has a remarkable affinity with the famous head of Egyptian Queen Tiye in the Berlin Museum. So can we possibly be looking at the original, the actual real Queen Tiye, so-called Egyptian? All right, and then it says head of a sacrificed Negro, showing 3 wounds from Veracruz. This is the one on the right. Okay. You understand? You understand? Shout out to Netflix for the next song. Yeah.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way.
Oh yeah.
So you can go kick rocks.
Yup.
Bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty. I have a sense of urgency, a message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better. See, I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
Cause I'ma do it my way. It don't matter what you say. Yeah, right here we're looking at some grills, some ancient grills. A Negroid head made from black copper with big golden lips and teeth. Cochlear region, Panama. Okay? And then we got the football player over here. Yeah, this is real artifacts, alright?
100 weeks didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future. We all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer. What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks.
Yeah, go kick rocks if you don't like this.
What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
I just want to know, do you guys remember who you are? Says here a rare Negroid head on Zapotecan vessel from Oaxaca. Private collection. It's always in these private collections. Huh, Chicago, huh? Where in Chicago? Hey, get it out the closet and show everybody. Come on, man. It says here two post-classic Moorish looking heads below, presumably executed by mystic artists in the region of Oaxaca. The one on the left, now in private collection in Chicago, is intact. Its stirrup handle gives it remarkable Peruvian affinity, which strongly indicates some connections with Muxica effigy vessels from Peru, either by trade or by copying, all right? Mexico and Peruvian connection here, right? Do you see? Do you remember? Moorish looking, huh? Moorish looking. Break the spell. Remember who you are. Remember your ancestors. Don't be fooled by the brainwashing. It's time to remember. Wow. 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 Was that the fez? Is that a turban? What's that? A classic Moxica portrait vessel from Peru, AD 600. This exquisite piece is similar to the two Moorish-looking heads in colored plates. Okay. Peru, huh? Halal Hawa? Oh yeah. It's getting real. It's getting really, really real. Israel, yeah, it's getting really real. It's Israel. Israel. Yeah, it's real. Oh. 26 above, a powerful terracotta head from Veracruz with Negroid characteristics. On the right, Olmec, again, Olmec on the right, Olmec, stone mask from Arroyo Pesquero, Southern Veracruz, State Museum, Jalapa, Veracruz. The testimony of this extremely realistic masterpiece establishes without any doubt the Oriental and especially Japanese ancestry of early Olmec inhabitants in America. Uh-oh. I didn't say it, but what if he's seeing it in reverse? Huh, guys? It still don't mean this because it looks like this, it wouldn't be Swarty. Flash your own hijacks and remember the true old world. These people have been seeing it in reverse the whole time. You still here, huh? You still here. A Japanese lady, in parentheses. This is what they're calling Japanese. But they found this in Mexico, pre-classic. Even before the classic, pre-classic. And right here, we just got homeboy right here with the beard. All right, his hair coming up, tied up like in a bun. Says a stucco portrait head above the tomb of Zapotec ruler, a Zapotec ruler in Limbi Teco near Mitla, Oaxaca, circa 700 AD, excavated by the University of the Americas archaeological staff. A shout out to all the real ones in the chat. I see you guys. Right here we have the sensational Negro Tlaloc from the famous Olmec site at Chalchatzingo, Morelos, Mexico. Pre-classic, a view of the Negroid rock mask carved on top of the mountain overlooking the plains of Morelos. Okay, what are they talking about? Huh? This hand risen and the face is hard to see on this, but yeah, the phenotypes is what they're talking about. All right, here it is right here, if you guys can see it. All right, and he's got his hand raised. Got his hand raised. And that's on a rock. You can't you can't deny that one. You can't whitewash this one unless you take off the nose, but you must have missed this one. Close up of the Negroid features of the rock mask. Carved out of the living rock. Note the helmet with the round knob and earrings similar to Egyptian representations, okay? Similar to the so-called Egyptians. Where's the real Egypt to marry? To marry. Shout out to Back for What's Mine in the chat. Check out the channel. Check out the brother's channel. Doing big things. Ocelome 12. Hey, thanks for the beats you produced for the channel too, brother. Thanks. All right, we're gonna keep going. Where we at? Where's the images? All right. Guy with his sombrero. The conehead sombrero. Let's go. Okay. Chapter 10, it says, the all-important pre-classic epic with regard to the population of the Americas. So they're talking about the Olmecs debated, where the origin is. They look like Mongoloids. They look like so-called Negroids. But then they got this, right? Check this out. I mean, this one right here is just, and you can't just say that's an African just because you found that right there in Mexico. Oh, that must have been an African that came. No, that's not enough proof. I hope you guys see that. That was, you can use that back in the 70s, back in the 60s, back in the 80s, still in the 90s. In the 2000s, we were already starting to wake up. We're like, I don't know, man. 2010s is over. Oh yeah, we remember. That's Tito. Okay, that's Tito. So they try to compare with, a guy from Kenya, right? Like you don't find this over here in the Americas, right? Like they couldn't pick somebody from the Americas, right? But what he's trying to point out is, why they're saying this is an African because it looks like somebody in Africa, right? But we had all these phenotypes here. We had all this. May be seen in reverse. He might descend from this guy. You might be seeing it in reverse this whole time. Yep, this whole time. If we contemplate another masterpiece from Las Bocas, Puebla, Mexico, we realize the same obvious Oriental ingredient of a racial individual whose genes had already absorbed a small Xochipalaga, or Xochipala group with the slight Negroid influence reflected in his features. He manifests himself as a true Olmec. He's saying Oriental with a Negroid is a true Olmec. I'm not the one saying that. Thus, one stem of the higher bred American population was born. The other pillar rose from a totally different bulk of genes and obviously produced white people. Obviously. What? They produce what? Who produced who? So who came first? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey. Crayon colors, right? What are you talking about? The latter ones, as mentioned previously, I call contra Olmecs. The perfect contrast between the two opposite types is shown in illustrations 12 and 14. So we're looking at all these images, all right? It says here the most Negroid one, Monument F, found at Tres Zapotes, and therefore, hold on. Okay, we're gonna look at all those. Wow, all right. Related to a very prominent Olmec site, is not reproduced over, even mentioned in the book. One of the most outstanding contra Olmecans is, of course, the impressive central figure of La Venta Stela III. In his book, Michael Coe, an inveterate anti-diffusionist, discusses Stela III, which he calls controversial because of the curious personage who does not have the flat-faced, almost Negroid visage of the colossal heads, but is a goated individual with a long aquiline nose. So they found in all this, these are all different Olmecs, right? And who quickly became known among archaeologists as Uncle Sam. Oh, this is where they got the image for Uncle Sam. Listen up, man. He's spilling the beans. Okay, they copy all our stuff. If the silly name of Uncle Sam is all that the archaeologists can find to explain this tremendous historical personage, it is indeed a rather meager contribution. Later on, however, Cole gets very explicit about his ideas. He says, as we shall see, it is extremely misleading to use the testimony of artistic representations to prove ethnic theories. The Olmecs were American Indians, not Negroes, because he's trying to say that means African. All right. So they kind of debating and getting confused in what they're saying to each other, not understanding the full picture. What do you mean they're not Negroes? Negroes have all type of phenotypes, and Indians were classified as so-called Negroes. Who did they use the N-word first on in America? American Indians. That's history. All right, let's go to the images. Just want to read that a little bit. All right. Okay, here you go. Queen Latifah again. Yeah. I don't know. I just, look at her. Look at her hair. But it reminds me of like the Muppets and also like Fraggle Rock and all these people. Shout out to everybody who watched Fraggle Rock when they were young. I'm talking about the original ones. There's very early pre-classic figurines from Xochipala, Guerrero, Mexico, approximately from 1100 BC, approximately with their radiocarbon that we gotta trust. But that's pretty old, guys. Distinguished white-looking girl, a white-looking girl. Oh my gosh. So so how did he determine white? Okay. And a Negroid-looking girl, possibly her maid. Oh, possibly her maid because she looks so-called Negroid. Do you guys hear the prejudices, the stereotypes, and the racist remarks, right? That was really bad, author. Man, that was really bad. Oh, that's probably her servant because she looks more Negroid. Do you guys see what we grow up with? These are the same scholars a lot of Pan-Africans use to claim their prove that Africans came over here. Same people. That's the same way they thought. All these people who wrote all those books, I forget his name. You know what I'm talking about. They came before us. They came before Columbia. Yeah, you were Pan-African. Okay. Keep going. We'll forgive him. I can't believe you said that. Anyways. Look at this realistic. Wow. Wow. No way, Jose. He said, no, they have to have straight hair to be real Indians. I guess he's blind, guys. I guess he's blind. Any questions? And this is what they're calling Semitic because of the beard and the aquiline nose, I guess. All different Olmecs, so-called Olmecs. Future video out of Olmec theory. I'm gonna break that down. Wait till that lighter gets really busy, brother. Yeah. Shout out to Back for What's Mines. Wait till they come down here, Costa Rica, with that lighter, man. Watch. Says here, 3 views of a late Olmec Negroid head from southern Veracruz. All right. It's all over the place. Look at this. They try to compare it with a guy from the Zulu tribe, right? Like you can't find that phenotype here. That's what they're trying to say, right? Like, but either way, just in case anybody has any doubts of what is represented, right? But it's not necessarily a person from Africa. Yeah. Negroid, huh? Sound the alarms. Wake up. Wow. Alfredo Chavero, writing in the monumental publication Mexico a través de los siglos. All right, we've gone over that book in my series From Indigenous American to African American, where we translated that book. And he says, follows in the footsteps of Melgar. He is, in addition, the very first person to look closely at the human clay figurines of Teotihuacan, spotting undoubtedly Negroid representations. Oh, nine here. We just seen some brothers working out. To me, it looks like they're working out, like they're big, like they're in the gym and stuff. He's doing his, he's pulling himself up right there. I want to ask you a question, my brother. Do you remember who you are? This was a pretty cool one. It's described as a Negroid man holding a baby jaguar. A baby jaguar. I can just imagine having my own baby jaguar to raise. That would be so cool. Yeah. That was definitely like a black samurai, huh? So this one right here, what they're doing is comparing what they found here in Teotihuacan, right? This artifact on the right with somebody in Africa, right? I believe she's from Nigeria, right? But again, that's the hijack. You see what I'm saying? They try to always make you something else. But just look at what they found here in Teotihuacan. I mean, case closed. Case closed. My eyes don't lie. This ain't just imaginations from people. That was a real person they looked at to do that sculpture, that pottery. All right? Real people, guys. Real people living in ancient America and Mexico. Real people that look like you. Yeah, that look like you. Real people. A classic Teotihuacan pottery head compared with that of a girl from Nigeria, Africa. All right? This is in a history and art. Okay, so yeah, this is stuff they never show you guys. This here, America, area of Mexico, from all around the world by drifting, paddling, and sailing. Wait, hold on, we gotta read that one. What is it saying? Okay, let's check this out. The all-important ethnic variations and crossbreedings in the pre-classic period of Mesoamerica vividly portrayed in color, plate 2. It shows an assembly of a preponderantly pre-classic Humanitas Americana. Already mentioned above, the true ethnic situation in those ancient times is well described by one of the great scientific philosophers of our day, Buckminster Fuller. He believes that over 1,000 years ago, a widely crossbreeding Mongolian, Polynesian, African, South American people already existed. You guys hear that? All the phenotypes, right? You know, like you just put them all together. Existed where? In the New World. In Utopia or Oblivion. Uh-oh, I think we're gonna get that book. You know how I do it. I'm gonna look for it. We're gonna probably get into it in future videos, guys. Let's see what it says in there. It says Fuller marks the following observation. Just to the south of us, in Mexico, we have the earlier world encirclement of highly crossbred people. These people probably came millenniums ago into the Central America area of Mexico from all around the world by drifting, paddling, and sailing across both the Atlantic and the Pacific on rafts and climbing mountains and crossing the Bering Strait. All right, so dodge the hijack, because he also said probably. He's trying to figure out why he's finding old world people or so-called Negro people or all this stuff that he thinks is supposed to be in the other side of the world. I'm giving you context behind what these people are saying, guys. Like you got to always understand the context. He's either way, he's saying all these phenotypes are right here. You're gonna find this again in Mexico. Every shape of face, every phenotype, every eye and lip, every shape of head. And you will find any and every one of these shapes and faces and every grade of color, every grade of color, from very dark to very light. Body bag for the illusion. Can I get a mic drop? From very dark to very light, the people of Mexico constitute a highly crossbred man of yesterday. He's saying crossbred. They're trying to understand what they don't even understand what they're saying. He has no unique color identity. It's not one color. The new and second degree stage of world encircling crossbreeding is now taking place a little bit further to the north. All right, so just think about the Webster's dictionary definition: copper colored tribes of America, huh? Copper has many shades. Very light copper, very dark copper. Just like he's saying here. With Buckminster Fuller, one does not know what to admire most: the mastermind of modern technology, or the unflinching spirit of a man of extremely lucid common sense. You got to have common sense to see this, right? Common sense. You have common sense. They found this in Mexico, Teotihuacan, Mexico City today. Tenochtitlan. So above he says, hey, he's calling this one a white person, right? He's calling this one a white person. And then this one, he's saying, a Negroid sculpture which was once the companion of the monumental Negro magician reproduced in illustrations 102 and 103. All right, so that's what he's talking about right here. Look at that, guys. Oh yeah, they won't ever show you this archaeology. Honduras, right? And Honduras has a lot to show too. Wait till they go with their lighter over there, back for was mines. You'll see. You already know. That's your people over there, right? And Belize and all that. And these are from the stelas in Honduras. These large, like obelisk-like stelas, very tall, megalithic, like real. Well, it could be, who knows? It could be geopolymer, but molded. But hey, it's art. So this kind of knowledge was brought over to India when they were building their temples and decorating their temples over there. Mayan sculptures, comparative photos of four outstanding human faces in the ceremonial patio of the Mayan ruins at Copan, Honduras, depicting ethnic evolution from Asiatic Chinese to Indian features. All right. So again, according to what they think, because it couldn't be people that were already over here, huh? There's your space astronaut, according to Ancient Astronauts and History Channel. Wow, wow. We're still here. Yeah, still here. You guys enjoying? Check out the hairstyle. Is that a fez or a turban or something? But check out how the hair comes out to the side, just like the old Egyptian drawings, hieroglyphics we see, right? And just like they use in college, right? To that was the tassel what comes down over the head. You guys can see this was all in ancient America. Big braid too. Do you guys see? He got the strap and everything for the hat or the fez or the turban or whatever. You guys see? And you see? And I know what you're gonna say, Elizabeth. Yes, my friend. All right. So some of the places they're finding this, and a lot of this is in South America as well. But some of the places they're finding this stuff. All right. Look at that, right on the building. It's nice. Look at that. What do you got? Braids? What do you got? Braids? Cornrows? That cornrows? Back up a little bit. Oh, wow, look at his hairstyle. Now look at him, how he got his wow, is that like a hair wrap or is that his dreadlocks he's wrapping or what is that, huh? Wow. Very interesting, right? Says here, chapter 12, the absorption of the Negroes, so-called Negroes, the sporadic representation during the entire pre-Columbian epoch in all regions from Mesoamerica to Peru. Again, pre-Columbian epoch, all regions of Mesoamerica to Peru, okay? Absorption of Negroes, where do they come from? Absorbed from where? What are you talking about? From the ground? From the earth? From mama and papa? Yeah, all over. All over. An attentive study of Negroid portrayals in pre-Columbian art leaves us little doubt about the presence of so-called black people in ancient America. Little doubt, guys. Little doubt. They've been known, and they still haven't updated the textbooks. So why didn't you go tell everybody? This paramount reality is even more surprising as soon as we examine the chronological and geographical extent of a racial phenomenon that was practically ignored in the past by professional investigators and the general public alike. In former chapters, we have seen that this remarkable racial incident can be traced back to the remotest history of America. Remote, way back. Prove to me they came from Africa. Way back. No way, Jose. Jose, man, you lost big time, man. All right? There's no doubt. Listen to what they're saying. There's no doubt. All right? So called black people in ancient America. Michael Coe's last carbon dating, 1966, dodged the hijack with the carbon dating of the San Lorenzo going back to almost 1200 BC. So, guys, imagine that's the minimum they give it, and that's with their radiocarbon. It might be even older. Gives us an unmistakable clue to the great antiquity of the colossal Olmec heads. George Kubler describes these monumental witnesses as manifesting on the part of their creators a pharaonic desire for eternity, for physical survival beyond all the accidents of time. I believe Kubler is right, and I am beginning to believe that he is also right in introducing the word pharaonic, even if it means the vindication of the often laughed at explorer. Sorry, still loading. Hey, much love and respect. Tlatuani Machi. All right. Much love. Borrow. Oh, borrow again. Let's see. Make sure they don't block us. It was getting good, right? It was getting good. I just want to show you guys what's in these books. How come our teachers in school don't show us this stuff, huh? If you're a teacher, if you're a professor of teacher, why don't you have this in your curriculum? Oh, I'm not allowed to teach us Kurimeo. I can't. I try Kurimeo. I try. It's just hard because like it's not. I don't want to get fired. Really. Okay, I understand that. But hey, eventually, eventually, you're gonna have to make the choice. So what was it saying? It's saying that even if it means the vindication of often laughed at, even if you're gonna be laughed at by your colleagues, all right, or your historians out there, all your professors and teachers, at explorer Count Waldeck. Waldeck was a close friend of Lord Kingsborough. Kingsborough believed in the early Semitic background of America's population, all right? Lord Kingsborough knew you were the chosen people. This was the true Holy Land. He was saying that in his book. All he found from interpreting the Mexican codices. Very scholarly work here, the collection of Lord Kingsborough, 9 volumes. And he has many codices in those volumes, the original ones. They never quarreled. Now we may assume that both of them, hold on, did not go so far as to stray in their prospective stubborn convictions. One piece of new archaeological evidence that has made a most lasting impression on me is the terracotta figurine excavated by Magnish and Tehuacan and depicted in Appendix 12. There is no escape, all right? After you see that there is no going back, all right, you can't pretend to still be a Pan-African. I've shown this, guys. I've shown this like 4 or 5 years ago, right? We've gone over this book, and people still out there debating Pan-Africans. Wasting your time, man. These people are choosing to be ignorant. There is no escape. You can't hide from all this info we've put up in the last 6 years. There's no going back. Oh, yes, my friend. Oh, yes. It is one of the oldest specimens of its kind, and it is definitely Egypto-Nubian in looks. Oh, in looks, not that it is. To you, it looks Egypto-Nubian. What is that? What is an Egypto? That's a Greek word. You guys know Egypt is a Greek word? So-called Greek. Who are the Greeks? All right, you got to get to the bottom of everything. Detail, specific when you come with me. Can't debate truth. Other early dated Negroid or semi-Negroid pieces come from Guerrero, Xochipala, and Pacific Coast La Venta, Tlatilco, Tlapacoya, Guatemala, El Salvador, and so on, and so on, and so on. Among them is a great favorite of mine, an exquisite Nilotic girl, who in her well-bred distinction and negritude, all right, can rival the Egyptian boykin Tutankhamen. Incidentally, the most accurate and convincingly lifelike portrayals of racial distinctions in antiquity can be found among the archaeological objects from the tomb of Tutankhamen. That's the hijack with their theme park over there. The features of this Egyptian king, whose mother was of pure black stock. What are you saying? His dad wasn't? Are almost as Negroid looking as the ones of his captured Nubian enemies, so admirably portrayed by the royal artist, commemorating the death of their sovereign. It is strange that some people still believe that all the Negroid images in this book were accidental creations of the American Indians. Can you believe that, guys? There's people right now like Jose, no way Jose, that still believe this is just in their imaginations. They were just depicting different types of faces. They didn't know. It was all by accident. They created the Olmec stoneheads by accident. Yeah, they didn't know any better. That's like the NASA guy saying, we had the technology to go to the moon, but it's too difficult to maintain. We destroyed it. We don't have it anymore. What do you think? We were born yesterday? All right. A severe blow to this erroneous belief was given during the I forget the L numbers, International Congress of Americanists in Mexico by Andrzej Wierzynski. The well-known craniologist from the University of Warsaw, Dr. Wierzynski, was kind enough to lend me the manuscript of his contribution to the Congress, which I included in my paper, also read at the Congress. Wierzynski says, it appeared that some of the skulls from Tlatilco, Cerro de las Mesas, and Monte Albán, all pre-classic sites in Mexico, show, to a different degree, a clear prevalence of the total Negroid pattern that has been evidenced by the use of the two methods, a multivariate distance analysis of average characteristics of individual fractions distinguish cranioscopically analysis of frequency distributions of mean index of the position between combinations of racial varieties. All right. If you like the scientific terms, there you go. All right. Or so-called black people were in ancient America. If you want to keep it simple. Dodge the hijack with the crayon colors, though, right? To list to this long list of implausible accidental creations, another very dramatic one can be added. Recently, an incredible rock carving was discovered on a mountaintop in the state of Morelos, Mexico, near the small village of Chalcatzingo. The Olmec stone reliefs of Chacalcingo were already mentioned in chapter 11. They are mentioned also in the new book by Carlo Gay, illustrated by Francis Pratt. Chacalcingo Grass, Australia, 1972. For us, the most unexpected surprise was a big stone face carved out of the living rock, situated above all the other reliefs in the same place. For almost 3,000 years, this face has been gazing over the vast valley of Morelos in the direction of the snow-covered peak of Popocatépetl, all right, one of the mythical volcanoes in the story of in the Thoth story of the Emerald Tablets in the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, where he talks about he came from a city in a lake overlooked by two volcanoes. One of them is Popocatépetl. Mexico's famous volcano. The feature of this face are indisputably Negroid. Indisputably. So you're trying to debate with me, undisputably Negroid. The interesting fact remains that only two realistically recognizable faces were executed in the artistic compound of Chacalcingo. One represented a white Semitic, that's what he's calling white, Shemitic, he's just calling a straight nose, prisoner, and the other a Negro. Those are the two phenotypes he found there, guys. We have already seen how the Semitic symbol of the face of Humbaba led to the all-important image of the fire god in America. And now we come to the conclusion that possibly a Negro triggered off all the representations of the paramount rain god Tlaloc. Again, all their deities are so-called what? Negro too? All their deities? Because these were real people, as I said earlier. Yet another surprise. Oh, so many surprises and accidents. An accidental Indian creativeness is awaiting for us. In the stone carving above the so-called Negro Tlaloc, the carving of an open hand appears with outward face and palm, including the lower part of the arm. The hand is pointing up at the sky. The affinity of this device with the Carthaginian symbol of the goddess Tanit in Phoenician alters the 5th and 4th century BC, and with the raised bracelet arm of the Semitic Assyrian king, Ashurnasirpal, all right, just like that. How about I say that's the original? What if I told you that's the original? Who's the Assyrians? The sons of Ashur. The sons of Ashur. Ashur is a son of Shem. Oh, we talking about Semitic? Yeah, Shemitic. Ashur is the progenitor of the Assyrians, guys. A son of Shem. A brother of Arphaxad, who the Hebrews come out of, all right? Got to know the genealogy. It's really uncanny. So is the fact that the Negroid rock mask is represented with a helmet and an earring that are fundamentally similar to helmets and earrings known in Egypt at the time of Ramses III. At this point, I leave it to the reader to come to his own conclusion, okay? When are you gonna, you gotta dash your own hijacks, break out of the spells? Because for me, the evidence of contact between the Old and New World has greatly reinforced during my research trip to Europe, the Middle East, and Egypt in the summer of 1973. Keeping in mind my own findings in Mexico and Mr. Hoy's theories quoted in the previous chapter 1 investigated several pictorial sources of historical significance. Apart from the Humbaba representations mentioned earlier, I concentrated my research on 3 items: the comparative activities of modeling human heads in terracotta, the presence of a certain type of helmet during the epoch in question, example, the 12th century BC, and the Negroid stone heads, presumably executed in Tanis and Lower Egypt during the time of Ramses III. With the kind of permission of Madame Ziegler. All right, so he has a whole thing, right? Madame Ziegler, curator of the Musée du Louvre in Paris, I was allowed to study the ample collection of Egyptian terracotta heads in the Louvre Museum. Later on, I had the opportunity to investigate the rich Phoenician collections of the National Museum in Beirut, Lebanon, and Cyprus. And of course, the select display of Egyptian terracotta heads in the Cairo Museum. The best overall picture, however, is given by the Petrie collection mentioned in Chapter 7 and shown in illustration 63. At least, as far as its racial diversity is concerned, the reproduction of this unusual collection expresses for Egypt practically the same idea as my poster Humanitas Americana expresses for ancient America. And he's talking about the diversity, guys, the different phenotypes, just like over there. Why do they brush this under the you know under the rug? Why don't they tell us, man? Standing you from Colima says here. Let's go back to the images. You ready, guys? Wow. Wow. Wake up and break the spell. So he's showing some representations that he's comparing to the ones in America, right? And these are accepted, as he's saying, as Negroid. So why not the ones in America? Look at that. Wow. Guatemala. Okay, so hold up. So it says Maya incense burner with double profile. Okay, so B, 2 terracotta heads from Chiapas, Mexico. All right, so this is from Chiapas, Mexico. All right, look at that. With his mustache and stuff. Pretty cool. Braided hair. Looks like braided. Yeah, right. The arrival of more black immigrants during the late pre-classic and classic epochs will always be difficult to trace. Will always be difficult to trace. They haven't proved that anybody came here unless some unexpected documents are found, unless some sources, primary sources stating, the local people stating, we came from over there, we came from Africa, we came from these people. None of that exists, guys. They might have traveled on Phoenician or Jewish boats. Might have. You've seen it in reverse. This is the true old world. One fact, however, is absolutely sure that pre-Columbian artists continue to portray individuals of purely Negroid stock. They might have been, maybe they're this, maybe they might, probably, they don't know. They're making all that stuff up. They're trying to explain why they're finding this here. The models were, of course, an assortment of diverse beings. They ranged from purely Negroid specimens to individuals in whom only a slight admixture of black blood can be discerned or speculated about, so-called black. The greatest variety of Negroid representations is furnished by the classic Veracruz artists. For a purely black type, we might refer to the fair-sized terracotta head in the Stavenhagen collection. An ordinary black girl is depicted with great realism. The silhouette of the sensitively modeled skull coincides exactly with the prognatism diagram shown in Appendix 5. The ethnic evidence of this piece seems to me practically irrefutable. All right. irrefutable. Hey, much love, Honey Bunny. Honey Bunny, much love, man. Thanks for the donation. Appreciate it. So, practically irrefutable, guys. The same can be said of the magnificent stone head that is shown on the jacket of this book. This is by far the most interesting object in the excellent Totonac collection of the Natural History Museum of New York. It's there in New York and you didn't even know. You live in New York. You haven't even gone and checked these things out. The sculpture shows not only strictly Negroid features, but also the typical hairline of the black individual, so-called black. The peculiarity of the head should be noted. It has only one ear. The other ear is not broken up, but purposely omitted. Okay? Oh, my fault, guys. Well, I hope you guys were at least reading. So there's, you guys said here, the most African-looking ones are a specimen from Costa Rica, where I'm from. And I read all this, but hopefully you guys read it while I was muted. I didn't know. My fault, guys. Yeah, I was on mute. My fault. My fault. This whole time. My fault. Oh, look at that. Look at that. All right. So it says here, Negroid terracotta figure from Costa Rica. Pura vida, mae. Pura vida. Tiquicia. That's our indigenous name for Costa Rica. It's Tiquicia. If you guys didn't know, it's Tiquicia. Tiquicia. Costa Rica. All right. Ancient Costa Rican right here. Much love, fam. Much love. Much love. They say, Kurimeo, talk about your people. Stop talking about the Southeast Indians. That's what people say to me all the time. Well, here you go. My people. Ancient. Four terracottas from Costa Rica. A strange Assyrian-looking representation. A typical Costa Rican head effigy. Representation of a woman personified as a frog. Private collection. Costa Rica. All right. A lot of stuff here, guys. This is what I'm saying. Where's all the temples? They found all the stuff in. They're still in the jungle. We already shown Father Crespi. What do you mean real artifacts? We are showing real artifacts. You're not making sense, Papa Muck. We're showing real artifacts, and you just got here. We've been here like 3 hours long. Yeah. We've shown all types of. Here you go, Little Wayne. You guys know Little Wayne? This Little Wayne right here in ancient Costa Rica. Got his flat top and everything. Got the tattoos going on. He got a little tear coming down. Little Wayne. Talking about show the real artifacts. Come on, man. This is from Costa Rica too. So it's detailed of heavily tattooed Negroid terracotta figure Guanacaste. Guanacaste, where the Chorotega people are. Guanacaste, the Chorotega. That's one of my lines, man. Well, actually, a lot of my lines probably the people coming from that region who mixed with the Sephardic Jews and the Portuguese, right? They mixed with them. Yes, my friend. Yes. Check it out, guys. From Costa Rica as well. That's where they got their alien depictions from. Oh, Anunnaki right here. No, sir. Says here, highly stylized Negroid hair from Costa Rica with big eyes. Yeah. Shout out to Back for What's Mine. Yeah. Says here, terracotta vessel from Costa Rica Height, National Museum, San Jose, Negroid figure showing circumcision. Huh, circumcision, huh? I guess, determine their phenotypes from the stones, I guess because they mean his braids are coming down. Because his braids are coming down. Yeah. Says front and side view of young white man. Stone carving from Costa Rica. White man. Oh, this is the white man, I guess. Because of his nose. And then this one, check it out. And he's holding like two heads. Panama. More human beings with Negroid features can be seen in the Standing Prisoner from Costa Rica, carved in stone and now in the private collection of Alfonso Jimenez Alvarado in San Jose. I'm going to have to pay a visit to Mr. Alfonso Alvarado. Like, hey, when are you going to make this public and let people know what you found here in Costa Rica? And in a very stylized but extremely powerful stone sculpture on exhibition in the Berlin Dahlem Museum. I'm not kidding. I think I am going to do this, guys. I'm going to put some boots on the ground. We're going to go look for these things. The fascinating terracottas from Guanacaste on display in the National Museum of Costa Rica. Okay, so we've actually filmed a lot of these they're talking about. So make sure to check out my video. I went to the National Museum and I went to the Gold Museum. Make sure to check out those videos. All right, so you guys can see a lot of these artifacts they're talking about. And in the private collection of Doña Maria Eugenia de Roy. I bet you these private collections have the best ones. Yeah. I am indebted to Senora de Roy for letting me take the photographs in the museum and in her private home. The many illustrations from Costa Rica show in this book. In this book are another proof of the unexpected variety of human characteristics in ancient America, okay? Different kinds of people here in America. They're telling me, Kurimeo, go back to Europe. That's what people tell me. People tell me, and a lot of these are black folks, so-called black folks, with their stereotypes and prejudices. Because they say I don't look like the Olmec stonehead. But we had all these phenotypes here in ancient Costa Rica already. All of them. So again, proof of unexpected variety of human characteristics in ancient America. It is like plucking something out of a grab bag. One never knows what prize will appear. A Negro, a white man, or the mixed product of an enormous genetic lottery. You don't know. It's all over the place. What could be more unexpected than finding the extraordinary vessel shown in illustration 81 in the National Museum of Costa Rica? What is this circumcised Negro doing there? Embracing a 2-foot bow and still conveying a message to us of a possible ancient initiation rite with magic spell? All right, don't add your own hijacks to it. No less surprising are the superb portrait heads in the Negroid collection. They add great weight to the artist's testimonies gathered in this book. Okay, just want to read a little bit. Yeah, all over, including over here in my country. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. It's all over. It's all over. Hold on, we got more images. We got more images, I think. There we go. Any questions? Early Negroid representation from Morelos, Mexico. Okay, you see that? All right, look at this one. Yeah. These are from Mexico, so-called Olmec. Shout out to the real ones in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Look at this. All right. You see this? Come on. Wake up. I hope you guys saw how many we've shown, how much different examples we've shown today, just in this region. Has shown a mixture of Semite, Shemite, and Negro features. Pre-classic from Costa Rica. Semitic and Negro, huh? In Costa Rica, huh? Okay. And then they're trying to tell me that they all came from Africa. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Any questions? You guys see? Or are you blind too? Do you see or are you blind too? Talking to the Pan Africans out there. An excellent prototype of a Negro girl, Veracruz, classic epic. From Veracruz, from the classic epic, meaning very old. Very old. Veracruz, Mexico. What it do, Derwin? Much love, brother. Congratulations on your land acquisition. Yeah. Going back to the roots, back to the roots. All right. I know my eyes don't lie. Do you guys see? I remember the tattooing. They're saying that was an African thing. Man, we were doing that over here long ago. And I just want to emphasize a lot of people, a lot of the Pan Africans will say, well, the land masses were connected, and that's why there's Africans here. They're still thinking Pan African way. They're still saying that even when the lands were joined, that people walked over from the African part of Pangea over to the Americas, and that's why they were so. They're still adding their Pan African hijacks to Pangea, guys, and that's talking about millions of years ago or whatever, thousands or whatever millions, when they were creating the earth was being formed and stuff. Like, yeah, possibly, but the origin was still here. The oldest land of the waters was in the Americas. The oldest mammals, the oldest water, the oldest fossil. You can't agriculture, the plants, all the foods, it was all right here. The minerals, a lot of things prove it. All right. It's not just beliefs and well, oh no, it's because they look African. It's because when the continents were together, they walked over. Yeah, but you're not really giving a whole context behind what you're saying. And you're not understanding the research we've done to prove this is the true old world. Whether it was connected to all that, yeah, before it broke up, yeah, but it was here. Epicenter was here. There's still an origin to everything. Yes, my friend. Yes, my friend. Yeah, there's still an origin to everything. There's still a source. Yeah, I got you, Papa. I got you, Papa. Yeah, don't worry. I get it. It's just saying because we're showing real artifacts here too, just making sure. As you guys see, I mean, look at his hair. Go back. Says here, a terracotta head with fine polished black slip. Probably mystic work. Post-classic, the piece with undoubtedly Negro features. All right, undoubtedly so-called Negro features was found on the Mexican High Plateau from among Aztec pieces. This is definitely not Aztec. This is older than so-called Aztec. All right. Hope you guys see. Yeah. There's millions of them. As the author said, there's millions of these pieces. Hundreds of thousands of them that he saw. We have so many in the Costa Rica museums, like little ones. And I was trying to film all of them in my video, but it was blurry because of the internet connection. But check this one out. All right. Do you remember who you are? Huh? That's big homie right there. He's like, nah, he ain't messing around. He's like, yo, stop playing with me, man. Why you keep calling me African? Don't play with me. Incense burner, right? This is a nice little incense burner. You put it right here, I guess. Look at that. That's nice. So they had the time to create incense burners, guys. Come on, realistic looking incense burners. It's you? All right. All right, Derwin. I'll remember that. Not this guy though, right? Oh, man. Man, what's wrong? Are you mixed with a duck? No, sir. Wow. But they did enlarge their lips and stuff like that, right? This is probably indigenous ritual practice they're doing right there. He said, not him. I'll be like, yo, I definitely won't forget if it was him. I'll be like, oh, that's Darwin right there. I'm just kidding, man. All right, check this brother out. Yeah. Check it out with his Moorish sombrero. That's what I call it, a Moorish sombrero. Look at that, with his tattoos, everything. Look at that. So phenotype. Everything about him. Look at that. It's like so old world America. Yeah, old world America. Everything about him. It's a superb Moorish looking clay sculpture. Veracruz classic. Height 16 centimeters. Note the scarification tattooing and the turban on this most evidential piece of historical value. So why don't they teach us this? It's so valuable historically. Why don't they teach us this? His Moorish sombrero. His Moorish sombrero, yo. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Big pimping, yo. All right. So look at this one. It says, an especially fine Negro stonehead from Veracruz. All right. It's in the American Museum of Natural History in New York. And you live in New York and you haven't even seen this? And all these Pan-Africans in New York? You guys haven't gone to the museum, obviously. You guys haven't gone to the museum. And if you did, you're like, oh, look, that's an African. No, that's not an African. You know? KRS-One, who are you talking about? Yeah, okay. I know, my friend. I know, my friend. That's all I picture when you write that. And we saw this guy earlier in the other book. All right, with the beard. Here with the long nose, Pinocchio over here. Pinocchio over here. All right. There goes Duck Face Man over here again. Conclusions. Let's see what conclusions he came up with, because we read his conclusions in the other book. Let's see. After 35 years of intense study of concerning the human images forged by pre-Columbian artists, I dare to put these artists on the historical witness stand. The people who produced the objects in this book were not high-gear scientists, but artists, and acted as such. They did not work for modern art galleries in New York, London, or Berlin, but obviously approached their subject with a sincere natural understanding, creating these images for their own satisfaction, for the affection they had for their fellowmen. All right, fellowmen, and in general for the benefit of the cultural community into which they were born. All right. In 1971, I gave 2 public lectures at the National Museum of Anthropology in Mexico City on the subject Semites and Negroes in Ancient America. I used 260 slides to illustrate my points. After one of the lectures, I was challenged by a professor of the National University of Mexico. Among other things, I was told that 50% of the pieces shown from private collections were fakes. You hear that, guys? They try to say they were fake. This was the anthropologist comeback. That's just like some of the abos and Pan-Africans. Oh, that's just pseudo. That's fake. That's all they come up with. And that I intentionally deceived the audience with photographic trickery, inventing Semitic and Negroid features that the originals did not possess. All right. So that's how low they went, because they were practicing cognitive dissonance. That's really bad. So I wanted to read that to you. All right. So as you see what he went through, I guess that's why he kept it a hush. But here's some more images. I remember the grill we saw earlier. The Paris race map we already talked about. And they found this in the Maya site, guys. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's the Star of David, but it could mean the reframe, that these people were over here when they're talking about that story. Yeah, this was in the Maya site. All right, I was going to show you guys that in a future video. I got the book. All right. Look at that. The Star of David in the Maya site. So-called Star of David. All right. Lord Kingsborough. What's going on here? Look at the tails in the back. Come on, guys, look at this. This is from Guatemala. Just like the Egyptians, right? Or just like these old world cultures with the hair on the side. All these Kemetic brothers. The Pan-African Kemetic brothers. Look what they're copying. A Guatemalan. An ancient Guatemalan. All right. Some more sculptures here. A lot of this stuff is still in the jungle, guys. Wait till the lighter go everywhere. All right. Wait till the lighter goes everywhere. Look at this. The sumo wrestler here. Oh, this is a cool one. Yeah, this one shows the chakras. You see that? going up the body. That's what I think. It looks like the chakra. It looks like a Hindu sculpture. The ancient Nagas. Who's the ancient Nagas that went to India? We got videos on that. A lot of videos on that. Semitic representations. Shemitic. Zapotec region. We saw these masks earlier, I think, in the other book. So, I mean, ancient Egyptian drawings they're trying to compare, I guess, to the ones over here. And then this is what they're finding here. Wow, look at that. The mask. And this is the hand with the so-called Negro, face on this rock that's almost 3,000 years old. It's way up here on the top. You guys see the drawing? All right, showing that he has like a little watch, just like the Babylonian gods have, and his arm raised like the Assyrian. Right, you see this hand raised? They have one in the wall here. I mean, in the stone in Mexico, 3,000 years old, older than this one. I wouldn't be surprised this is geopolymer too, and this is recreated after. All right, so that's in Mexico here with the Negro face, as we saw earlier. That's what they're showing here. And look at this. Wow. Almost looks Egyptian, like the hieroglyphics. This is found in Veracruz. Says 2 clay masks from Carthage, one Negroid and the other Semitic. Yeah. Whoa, that was like a weird comparison, but hey. Okay. Lost the hijack. But hey, Olmec, it's pretty good. I wanted to show. So yeah, Olmec, you see? Colossal Olmec heads, and the one in the bottom is Olmec 2. And there's a colossal head, you can barely see it. And this is not from here, I don't think. So Angkor Wat, and then, wow, hold on. Okay, this is the Costa Rican one right here. So elaborate stone altar from Costa Rica with Negroid features. That's this right here. And I think I've shown this in my video when I went to the museum. All right, so many phenotypes we've shown, right, guys? So many different like artifacts, right? Estudios sobre la antigüedad y el origen de la cabeza colosal de tipo etiópico. A study on the antiquity of the colossal heads of the Ethiopian type. This is from Mexico. We've actually read this in my series from Indigenous American to African American. We actually translated it on part 1. Go check it out. Go back. Go to the throwback. Go check it out. I translated it, what they're talking about in that. All right. They've always known. They've always known. They've always known. Here it is. Yeah, make sure to go check out the videos if you haven't. If you're new to the channel, it's still all relevant. You see, it's all still relevant. All right. They made a whole report on it, a whole books on this stuff. Yeah. All right, and that's the index. Let me see. So, all right. Where's Little Wayne at? Little Wayne. Yo, Little Wayne. Little Wayne, man. I didn't know you were from Costa Rica, Little Wayne. Check it out. An effigy from Costa Rica. All these are from Costa Rica. Hey guys, so we've reached the end of the book. I'm gonna actually share this book as well with you guys. I shared the other one earlier. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Yeah, go ahead and take advantage. Yeah, make your books, do your presentations. Yeah, teach everybody. Share it with the kids. Yeah, tell the world. Yeah. Pura vida. And I'll have probably PDF. I already have this form PDF on my Patreon. For all my Patreons, it's already up there. They've been able to take advantage of that. I'm gonna have the other book too in PDF form for my Patreons. I'm gonna take the time to screenshot a lot of these things and create the PDFs, and I'm gonna share with my Patreons a lot of these books. I've already shared many books in my Patreon page, many books actually. So go ahead and take advantage if you like to help out in that way. It's just me saying thanks for the help, and shout out to the Patreons for real. J9, thank you for holding down the chat a lot of the time. Appreciate it. And to anybody in the chat that you guys know me personally, thanks for coming through. All the real followers for a long time. I know I see the familiar names and usernames, so I know. Thanks for coming through as well. Appreciate everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Most of this was for the new people. You gotta understand, guys. I have a lot of new people, so they haven't seen none of this stuff. They're still trying to ask me about Africans and all this other stuff and where the Holy Land is and all this other stuff. So little by little, we're gonna help everybody catch up. Little by little, as we produce new videos and material and content. All right, but a lot of these images we hadn't seen ever. A lot of these images we saw today, nobody's ever shown, guys, ever. So, and even if they have, they saw it in my my videos from 4 years ago. A lot of them, and they copy. But it's okay. It's okay. I respect as long as they're, spreading the word. You know. Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys always. For hearing me read. It's not easy when I'm live too, because I have a lot of dead air. I go mute. I mute sometimes. But let's see if we can find something cool. All right, let's go out with this one. Let's go out with this one. Breeze 3000. Breeze 3000. Hold on. Let's go. New share. Advance. All right. Breeze 3000. Thanks for tuning in once again, guys. Appreciate you guys. Much love and respect. Have a great weekend. Shabbat Shalom. I'm going to give you your Friday back. Thanks for tuning in with me for the last almost 4 hours. I appreciate it. I'm going to give you your Friday back. All right, I'm going to go back and chill with my family too. It's Friday night, baby. Shabbat Shalom. Pura vida, mi gente. Awa, awa. Breeze 3000.